For the preseason Steeler game previews here at Big Deke News, we did real game, fake lines, basically where we would give fake lines for a real game. For instance, the one that was pretty much a staple throughout preseason was, will Chris Oladokun get a snap? And then we would set the fake odds, give the explanation why. But now we have the regular season. And I think we're going to pivot away from real game fake lines. That was mainly just in existence because of the preseason. All they had was money line, spreads, and over-unders, so we had to get creative. Whereas now in the regular season, whatever bet you want, you could pretty much get. If you think Pickens is going to get over 30 yards, you can bet that. Hell, you could move it up to like 70 yards so you get better odds. Same thing with everything else. They got same game parlays. So we're just going to use this as a template to do the preview. Real game, real lines, except we're not going to call it that because that's pretty stupid. So without further ado, we got the Steelers-Patriots Week 2 preview, and we're going to go over my top bets or investments for the week, what I'm thinking, give you guys the explanation, but yeah, let's get into it. First, let's go with the quarterbacks, and all these lines, all the spreads, all this stuff is from DraftKings. We're going to do the over-unders on the interceptions. They got both Mac Jones and Mitch Trubisky at half an interception apiece. Mac Jones, I'm saying he gets over the 0.5 interceptions. Mitch Trubisky, the under 0.5 interceptions. Now with Trubisky, I'm thinking he takes care of the ball. Some may complain that he takes care of the ball too much, doesn't take as many shots. But this week he's playing a lesser defense, in my opinion, in New England versus last week when he faced off against the Bengals. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think the Patriots defense is bad. Actually, I do think they're solid. But they're just a little bit lesser than Cincy, just not as explosive. They don't have as much top-tier talent. And you got to think, last week, Mitch didn't really throw a pickable pass. I mean, the only one that I could think of was the one in overtime. All the other ones were either completed or they were nowhere close to being intercepted. So I think Mitch keeps it clean in his first home game at Acrisure Stadium tomorrow. And with Mac Jones, I don't think he's going to have a 5-turnover game like Burrow. But I do think this defense, the Steeler defense, is still going to get after. I think we're still going to establish a decent pass rush. And also our secondary matches up pretty well against New England's receivers. So look for Mac to toss one or two our way. Next, we got George Pickens receiving yards at 29.5. That's the over-under. Odds set at -120. I am taking the over. I think this is easy money, especially after Mitch acknowledged that he needs to get Pickens the ball more. And you got to think, they were one throw away from having an 80-yard bomb and a touchdown. So all I really got to say is get Pickens the damn ball. Now this one, I'm considering my lock of the week. A no-brainer for sure thing. With this one, it's Minkah Fitzpatrick, over-under 6.5 tackles. We're taking the over. One of Minkah's knocks early on was that he really wasn't a physical safety. He wasn't willing to make those tough tackles. Was more of a ball hawk, which was fine because he made 2 All-Pros in his first 2 seasons with the Steelers. But these last 2 seasons, I would say he's completely flipped the script. Going back to last year, he was averaging 7.75 tackles per game, which is over that 6.5 tackle line. And then also back to week 1 in this season, he had 14 tackles against the Bengals. Dude is looking like a strong candidate for the depoy with TJ being out for an extended period of time. And also with him coming off of the AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week. So do you think all of a sudden now that he's at home in week 2, playing up against a rival in the Patriots, that all of a sudden that aggressiveness and him flying around out there and making plays is just all of a sudden going to stop? No, get the hell out of there. Minkah's getting over 6.5 tackles. And then here is my can't miss parlay. It's where you just throw a bunch of shit together and say, yeah, there's no way this can miss. Trubisky over 169.5 passing yards. Najee over 44.5 rush yards. Deontay over 39.5 receiving yards. Muth over 19.5 receiving yards. Pickens over 15 receiving yards. And then Steelers money line. And like I said, this is can't miss. What could possibly go wrong? And lastly, we got the classic stuff. The spread, Steelers plus 2.5. Money line at plus 115, and then the over-under is at 40.5. Now, my final score prediction is the Steelers win 21-10. So if you're just looking at these lines, you don't need the spread. You don't need the 2.5 points. You can just take Steelers money line. And then I guess the under, because 21 plus 10 equals 31. That's under the 40.5. But I'm not going to do that personally because taking the under, that's really not fun. I got $20 on Steelers money line. But what's crazy about this one is Vegas has completely disrespected the Steelers, coming off of a really nice victory on the road in Week 1 against the team that represented the AFC in the Super Bowl. And they're playing at home against the Patriots, who looked dismal in Week 1 against the Dolphins. The Patriots offense looked inept, and now they're going up against the Steelers defense that I don't think is going to be much worse. I know we're missing TJ Watt, but man, Steelers at home, 1-0. The defense is solid. Patriots look bad on the road against Miami. Like, why are the Steelers underdogs? I have no clue why. It's just flat out disrespect. But people that know ball like me, we're going to view it as more of an opportunity to stack that cash. So that's my Big Deke investment overview for this Steelers-Patriots Week 2 game. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about any of these bets. What are you guys looking for? Not only in terms of investments and bets, but also if you have any score predictions, let me know down in the comments as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Big Deke News. Stay chilling. Peace.